Well, we have reached the final game on this opening day of the Bevo Francis Classic here at the University of Rio Grande, and we've got a dandy, at least on paper, lined up for you here to close things out with women's action. It is the 10th ranked and unbeaten University of Rio Grande Red Storm at 4-0. They take on another 4-0 team out of the Chicagoland Collegiate Conference in University Park, Illinois. It's the Jaguars of Governors State University, and we bid you welcome again back to the new Oliver Arena here on the campus of the University of Rio Grande for coverage of this Bevo Francis Classic from Stretch Internet and from Video Productions. Randy Payton, happy to have you along. As we said, both teams are undefeated. Rio is ranked 10th nationally and protected that number 10 ranking in their last time out, which came a week ago tomorrow, last Saturday, a 107-67 rout of Rochester Christian out of Michigan. Head coach David Smalley's 680th career victory. Coach in his 33rd season, he's 680 and 350. As we said, his team 4-0 this season. They're 2-0 at home. And have been rolling along, and they take on a team in Governor State that is also 4-0, coming off of a win just a couple of nights ago over Trinity Christian, 94-40. They have won 4 in a row, and this is their second road game of the season. They won their previous matchup away from home. Tonisha Mack in her 7th season as the head coach of the Jaguars, 83-91 by way of a career record, but this a team that made the NAI National Tournament last year, as did Rio. So, again, as we said, two pretty good programs going at it tonight here in the new Oliver Arena. This the final game of the evening. 3 have come and gone, and if you're just joining us, Rio Grande, the men, winning over Carolina University just a little bit ago in their game. I'm looking for my paper that has all of the scores on it. Earlier, men's action, it was WVU Tech over Lindsey Wilson, 70-55. Rio beat Carolina 89-67. And in the earlier women's game, it was St. Mary of the Woods, who, like Rio Grande, a member of the River States Conference, defeating Lindsey Wilson 67-53. So that leaves us with one game tonight, and that is Rio Grande and Governor State. I don't guess for any reason that our wireless would be working. Nope. We had the best of intentions, folks. Maybe we'll get it working tomorrow. We'll work on that. It takes a village to make the broadcasts come off. They are down there right now. You can see the various student athletes who are here. They are in the process. I don't know how, if we can pick it up from our high camera. They are in the process of forming a 32. And the 32, the jersey number worn by the late, great Clarence Bevo Francis. And they will form that 32. And then before we get going tonight, we will honor the memory of Bevo with 32 seconds of silence. It's something that they started doing a few years ago, and doing it again tonight as they honor Bevo. We mentioned in our men's broadcast, Bevo at all of these tournaments until his passing, and then from that point on, his wife Jean represented him. Jean, unfortunately, we lost her in September. There will be members of his family, though, here tomorrow. Might be here tonight for this Bevo Francis tournament. I don't know if we can hear Brad Warnemont or not, but let's see if we can pick up his announcement.
Their legacy continues to grow with each passing year, and while many of these gentlemen have sadly passed on, their contributions not only to the college, but to the game of basketball will continue to be celebrated and never forgotten. Our most recent loss was Jean Francis, married 63 years to Bevo Francis. Jean was a devoted mother, cherished friend, and lifelong supporter of Rio Grande basketball. Our student athletes have created the number 32 to honor Bevo and the team members. Please join us for 32 seconds of silence to remember this team. Thank you. Now, will you please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. All veterans, please salute the flag. As our grand corral will sing our national anthem.
Nicely done by the Grand Chorale, the choir here at the University of Rio Grande, and they did a great job before the men's game, and of course part 2 or 2.0 if you will here prior to the women's game. Starting lineups for Governor State in the backcourt: Denaria Washington, a 5'9 senior out of Indianapolis, Indiana, 8.3 points and 6 rebounds per game. Joined in the backcourt, they've actually got essentially 5 guards, if you will. Calvina Eubanks, a 5'8 senior out of Bellwood, Illinois, 12.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, 4.8 assists. Zaria Chevrolet, a 5'10 senior out of St. Paul, Minnesota, 11.3 points, 5.3 rebounds. Sincere McDaniels, a 5'6 junior out of Alsip, Illinois, 14.8 points and 4.3 rebounds per game. And then you've got 5'8 graduate student Tabitha Jones out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, 21 points, 4.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists. And I believe, if I read correctly, in that win over Trinity Christian a couple of nights ago, surpassed the 1,000-point mark for her career. Again, they are under seventh-year head coach Tanisha Mack. The Jaguars of Governor State University out of University Park, Illinois, and a member of the Chicagoland Collegiate Conference. The University of Rio Grande, as they dim the lights, they get ready for the spotlight and the announcement of the starting lineup for the Red Storm. We're going to go ahead and give it to you. At one guard, it is Kaylee Darnell, a 5'6 senior out of Wheelersburg, Ohio. 25 points per game thus far, 2.8 rebounds, 5 assists per game. She is coming off of a season-high 28 points in the win over Rochester Christian back on Saturday. Marley Grinstead in the backcourt as well, a 5'8 junior out of Albany, Ohio, 11.3 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game. Asia Williams, the straw that stirs the drink, if you will, 5'3 senior out of Ripley, Ohio, 4.8 points, 2 rebounds, 5.5 assists per game. And then the forwards are Jasmine Jordan, a 6'2 freshman out of Ashland, Kentucky, 13.8 points and 12 rebounds per contest. And then Lexi Woods, a 5'11 senior out of Waverly, Ohio, 15.8 points and 6.8 rebounds per contest. Governor State is in the gray uniforms, trimmed in orange and white. Rio tonight will be in the red, trimmed in black numerals, black lettering, Rio Grande written across the chest. Our officials tonight, well, it looks like Kenzie Murray is going to be the referee. She'll be tossing the ball up at game's beginning, joined tonight by Philip Woodland and Tim Ryan. So just about ready to get it going here at the Newt, the fourth of 4. As the Jaguars, again, I didn't have a chance to officially look it up, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time that Governor State and Rio Grande have squared off against each other in women's basketball. It will be Jordan for Rio, and it looks like Chevrolet for the Jaguars. The ball is in the air. The tap is controlled in the backcourt by Rio, and we're underway as the Red Storm attack the basket to our left as we look at it from high above the Newt. Here's Williams to Darnell on the left wing. Out front, it goes to Grinstead. Grinstead back to Darnell on the left wing with 13 on the shot clock. Darnell around a wood screen, hands to Williams, and away from the ball, we get an illegal screen whistled against Rio and Lexi Woods. Or actually, they whistle that one on Kaylee Darnell. Okay. Here's a three put up on the left wing by the Jaguars. No good. I think we might be having some video issues. We'll work through them as we get going. Here's Woods on the right wing. It goes to Darnell. Darnell, a pull-up jumper, is off the mark, no good, and rebounded by Governor State. Taken away by Sincere McDaniels, who drives and is cut off. Here's a three out front, put up and put in. And that's Calvinia Eubanks, her hair covering her number. That's why I was slow to figure out who it might be. Here's Woods underneath, handing to Darnell, who's hit as she puts up a shot. It's good, and the foul. Denaria Washington picks up her first, the team's first. Kaylee Darnell, an 81% free throw shooter on the season. to the line for one, trying to tie it up. Free throw up good. Darnell off to a good start as she knocks the score at 3. 8:25 to play here in the first quarter. And a turnover. Woods takes the ball away, driving with the layup. Good. Lexi Woods picked off the pass and then took it to the rack and laid it up and in. Pressure applied. The Jaguars beat it, though. Out front, this is Denaria Washington in the lane. Left it short, and Grinstead has the rebound. Outlets to Woods, who kicks it around and loses it. Loose ball picked up by the Jaguars. They fire up a three from the left side. No good. Rebounded by Asia Williams for Rio. Here comes Darnell into the front court. Darnell looking into the lane. Kick it out to Asia Williams. On the left side, hands back to Darnell. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Into the corner, it's Williams. Going to pull the string on a three. Off the side of the rim, won't go. Rebound is fought for, and we'll get a foul on the rebound whistled against Rio. And Marley Grinstead, her first, the team's first. We'll get substitutions in here momentarily. Tell you about them in just a second. Multitasking, what you can't see behind the scenes. Three to three, our score was 7:27 to play in the opening quarter. Or what the delay is about. Out front, the Jaguars with the basketball and driving, cut off. Now here's a three out front, put up, no good. And the long rebound is also taken away by Chevrolet, but her pass wild, but they maintain possession. Driving with it is Tabitha Jones. She has it blocked underneath, but draws the foul. Whistle that one on Jasmine Jordan, her first, team second. .6:55 to play in the first quarter, and Jones will go to the free throw line, the 5'8" grad student out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. 18 of 25 on the season from the line, 72%. Her first one no good, or is good. 21 points, 4.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists. Second free throw by Jones, good as well. Marina Garcia Perez, who checked in for Rio, goes to Peyton Johnson, who checked in. She'll find Woods, who drives the baseline, put it up, no. Yep, that's her first, team second. Lexi Woods to the free throw line. Put it up and in. One more for the senior out of Waverly. 84.6% free throw shooter. She misses the second one, and the Jaguars away with a rebound. 1 point lead for Rio. Here's a jumper from the right side, in and out by Eubanks. Rebounded, though, and put back up and in by Sincere McDaniels. 7-6, and now Rio turns it over. And they try to feed underneath, and it'll be a kick violation against Marina Garcia Perez. Lexi Wood scoring. We're having some issues up here. We apologize. Trying to get them ironed out. 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Rio Grande with an 8-6. Jaguars miss, and Darnell in the corner. That's Peyton Johnson for a three. Way too much on it. Rebound taken away by the Jaguars. They wing it ahead, and they'll get it. No, they won't get a layup. Traveling is called. Denaria Washington with one too many steps. Media timeout. We need one. With 4:56 to play in the first. Rio in front, 8-7. .434 to play on a rolling clock here in this first quarter. We apologize. We're trying to figure out some video issues, and Marley Grinstead will check in for the Red Storm. Here's a jumper up by Governor State. Chevrolet misses. Rio the rebound. That's Garcia Perez. Garcia Perez driving, dumping. Johnson, left side three, left it short. Rebounded by Eubanks. Quick outlet ahead. Finds McDaniels. McDaniels off glass. Put it up and put it in. Sincere McDaniels makes it 9-8 as we go under 4 to play in this first quarter. They try to feed Jordan underneath, and we'll get a foul whistled against Governor State. Jasmine Jordan at the line. Good. You get people telling you that your video's not going out and you're trying to fix it. and you're trying to do the game while you're trying to fix it. Shot up and in by Denaria Robinson. Doesn't help that I can't read their numbers either. Or Denaria Washington, rather. Out front, Grinstead has it taken away by Calvina Eubanks, driving over top of Jordan, putting it up and in. Calvina Eubanks makes it 13-10. Lobbing underneath for Jordan. She's knocked to the ground. The loose ball's picked out of the air by Eubanks. Here come the Jaguars. Holding it out front right now is McDaniels. And we get an offensive foul and a legal screen whistled against Governor State and Chevrolet. That's her second. I have missed a couple of fouls. I've got 4, but they've got 6 up on the board. So Jordan underneath on the pass from Darnell, puts it up and in. (13-12). Eubanks picks up the foul, her first. Asia Williams for Rio in the front court. Goes right side to Grinstead. Underneath Woods, spinning, putting up a tough shot, no good, and drawing the foul. Chevrolet picks up her third. Woods will be at the free throw line. Woods' free throw is good. (13 apiece with 2:06 left in this first quarter. Ball goes out of bounds off of Rio. Minute and a half to play in the quarter. 15-14. Here's a turnover as Lexi Woods drives up the floor and gets fouled from behind. Sincere McDaniels picks up her first. Well, it's a 15-15 ball game with 1:25 left in the first quarter. For those of you who have been trying to get us on Stretch Internet, I have no idea what happened. My first response would be Presto Sports, but we're finally on, and we apologize. 1:15 to play in the quarter. And a 15-all game. Governor State with the ball in this first quarter, which has been nothing, it seems like, but fouls. And in trying to get the video on, yours truly has lost track of points and fouls and all that good stuff. So I guess we'll try to make that up as we go. Kelvina Eubanks at the free throw line, and the first one's up and in. She gives the Jaguars a 16-15 lead with 1:09 left. Second one is in and out, and Jordan has a rebound for Rio. Into the corner, Darnell for a three. Left it short, battle for the rebound, and out of there with it comes Washington. She wings it ahead. McDaniels driving with the left hand, lays it up and in. Rio getting beat at its own game that time, losing in transition. And now an 18-15 Governor State lead with 40 seconds to play in the quarter. Now we get a foul out front. Whistled on Louisa Schmidt, a 6-foot graduate student from Kelkheim, Germany. Her first. And Jasmine Jordan will go to the free throw line. She just absolutely came in from behind and knocked Jordan to the ground. Jordan's free throw, no good. Second one is good. And Rio trails by 2. And we apologize. We hopefully won't have any more issues the rest of the way. Funny when it doesn't work and you don't do anything to it and then it works. Shot for a long 2 is an air ball, but rebounded by the shooter and then feeding underneath to Schmidt for the bucket. 20-16. Grinstead underneath. Feeds Woods. Off glass, good. Lexi Woods gets them back within 2. 20-18. Here's a 3 by Washington at the horn. And the first quarter, mercifully for us, is over. Governor State 20, Rio Grande 18 at the end of 1. This is the Bevo Francis Classic from Stretch Internet now and Video Productions. On we go to quarter number 2. We promise we'll do better. Governor State with a 20-18 lead over Rio Grande. Randy Payton I'm not afraid to give my name. I won't identify the rest of the crew, although they didn't have anything to do with the mix-up. I have no idea, none, what caused it, but we're back on. Here's the Jaguars on the move. They dump it into the corner for a step-back three that's good. Sincere McDaniels makes it 23-18. On the move, Grinstead tried to feed underneath the Woods. It's loose on the floor. And the whistle sounds. Did they give the Jaguars a timeout? They didn't have possession of the ball. Boy, they gave them a 30-second timeout despite the fact that the ball was rolling on the floor. And now they extend this to a full timeout. Let's take one with them, and we'll return to the Newt in a moment.
Robotic technology, minimally invasive procedures, custom joint replacement, and 3D imaging. These are advanced surgical procedures available at Holzer. Our game-changing advancements provide quality outcomes, which means you return to living your life sooner. With Mako and Da Vinci Robotics, we are taking surgical care to the next level. Think Holzer first.
9:33 to play in the opening half, 23-18, Governor State in front. It'll be Governor State basketball out of the timeout. I think we're semi-caught up. Now if I can just read their numbers. Turnover as Jordan has a steal, lost the ball, gave it to Grinstead, who missed the layup. Eubanks, the rebound. Outlets ahead to McDaniels, who runs straight at the rack and with the right hand misses the layup. Woods, the rebound for Rio, will run the other direction as Williams brings him across the timeline. 9:10 to play in the half. 23-18, Governor State by 5. Out front is Darnell trying to get away from Schmidt, handing to Grinstead, down to 13 on the shot clock. There's Woods underneath. Ball fake, got the defender up and put it up and in. Lexi Woods having a big first half for Rio. 12 points. She came in averaging 15.8. Red Storm back within 3. Eubanks lost it at the foul line, got it back, and then got around Jordan and laid it up and in. Three on the other end by the Red Storm, no good. Jordan, the offensive board, up and in. Jasmine Jordan with the stick back. She has 7 points. Rio back within 3, 25-22. 8:10 to play in the half. McDaniels driving, dumping to the left side for a 3 ball that's off the mark. Darnell has the rebound and then has it poked away by Washington. Washington then feeds underneath, layup good. Louisa Schmidt with the layup. Tell you what, not a whole lot going right for Rio right now. I feel their pain. To get you caught up, Governor State is 11 of 24 for 45.8%, 2 of 9 from distance for 22%, 3 of 4 at the foul line for 75%. Rio, 7 of 15, 46%. They're 0 of 4 from distance. They're 8 of 11 at the foul line, but they've committed 10 turnovers already. The Red Storm coming into play, averaging 16.8, and they're well on their way toward that figure. Governor State has 6 turnovers. Rio's out-rebounded them 12-10, but it is not the look that we have become accustomed to, at least thus far, by the Red Storm through their first 4 games. And the first clock's not going. Now it finally starts. What was it that Casey Stengel said that one time? Can anybody here play this game? That's the way I feel tonight. They're trying to get the clock fixed. They do. It's down to 7:51 and 26 on the shot clock as Rio inbounds down 5. Williams driving, dumping. Darnell out front. Goes right side to Peyton Johnson. Peyton Johnson, the freshman from Peebles, Ohio, averaging 8 points per game. Here's Jordan on the baseline driving. Put it up, no good. Rebound in the lane, Woods. Had it knocked away going up, and a foul whistled against Governor State. Whistle it on Denaria Washington. That is her second and the team's first here in the second quarter. And Lexi Woods will go back to the foul line. She is 4 of 6 from the stripe thus far tonight. There you saw the replay of why she's going to the line. First free throw, good. 27-23, 7.5 to play here in this first half. Second one good. Lexi Woods keeping Rio afloat at the moment. Pressure in the backcourt. And a steal as it's taken away from Washington by Woods, and she puts it up and in. Washington turned to look at the officials rather than to turn and try to play defense, and Woods laid it in with no body in front of her whatsoever. And now Woods is hurt. Schmidt lays one in on the other end. I didn't even see Woods get hurt. (29-26). Rio's got Johnson, Grinstead, Darnell, Jordan, and Williams on the floor. Here's Darnell, who kept it from being a turnover. Driving layup good. Kaylee Darnell gets Rio within 1, 29-28. Pressure in the backcourt. The Jaguars beat it, though. That's Sincere McDaniels with the ball. Driving on Johnson, throwing up a jumper. Boy, they called an offensive foul. I thought they were going to whistle Johnson for bodying her up all the way down the floor, and then when they do blow the whistle, they call the foul on McDaniels. Her second. And they've got third up. It's a second team foul. I was going to say he announced third, but it's a second team foul. Here's Grinstead from the left side. Jumper good. Marley's first points of the night, and Rio regains the lead at 30-29. Eubanks with it out front. Hands it off to Washington. And away from the ball, we get an offensive foul. Tabitha Jones picks up her third. Boy, it has been illegal screen, offensive foul central tonight. Jones will have to sit down. And Izzy Agredano will check back in. She was in earlier when we were having all of our difficulty, and I failed to mention she was in the game. 5'4" junior out of Chicago, Illinois. Just under 10 points per contest. Rio by 1 and with the basketball. 6:10 to play in the first half. Here's Williams on the drive. Layup good with the left hand. Asia Williams gives Rio a 3-point lead. 32-29. They go after the steal and nearly come up with it. Here's McDaniels on the other end. Layup good. Sincere McDaniels makes it 32-31. Rio by 1. Williams feeding into Johnson underneath, and she's wrapped up from behind. And every time the Jaguars are whistled for a foul, they object to it. And the replay will show she grabbed her by the arm right there. And then she put her hand straight up. You don't get forgiveness when you remember to put your hand straight up after the foul. That is the fourth foul against the Jaguars in this quarter. Josie Graves in for Rio, freshman out of Barbersville, West Virginia, and Cabell Midland High School. She takes the inbounds pass, feeds Darnell at the foul line. Kaylee spinning. Kaylee shooting, blocked by Washington. They fight for the rebound. Grinstead comes away with it, and the jump ball's called. The arrow favors Rio. And this game from the outset basically has been chaos. If you're Rio, though, you're wondering now about the well-being of Lexi Woods. She is, I don't see her on the bench. I don't think. Red Storm will inbound the basketball. Darnell into Grinstead, into the lane, slips and goes down, feeds Graves. Out front now to Garcia Perez. 5 on the shot clock. Underneath, Johnson has it, saves it in, and it goes out of bounds off. And they're going to say shot clock violation before the turnover. This might be one of those situations where if we had instant replay, they would be able to change that, because it certainly looked like from our vantage point that it was knocked out of bounds by the Jaguars before the shot clock violation. But Tim Ryan's word is gospel, and he says shot clock violation. It's Governor State basketball after they clean up some perspiration on the floor. (32-31) Red Storm with 5:19 to play in the first half. It'll be Denaria Washington. She's a pitcher. Denaria Washington will inbound. And now they get it ahead into the front court. They easily beat the pressure. It's in the hands of McDaniels, who drives to the basket. Little teardrop floater, good. Sincere McDaniels gives the lead back to the visitors at 33-32. Rio on the other end. Johnson in the lane, had it knocked away, got it back, pushes up a tough shot off glass, no good, and then a tie-up on the rebound. Rebound was taken away by the Jaguars, and McDaniels, she got tied up by Johnson, but the arrow will favor the visitors. So they'll keep possession of the basketball, up 1 with 4:52 to play in the first half. I don't know if Lexi Woods has gone back to the trainer's room. Again, I'm blind in one eye and can't see out of the other, but I don't see her over on the bench at the moment. And she was off to a tremendous start for Rio. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 first half points. See if Rio, no pun intended, can weather the storm. Washington to Eubanks. Eubanks pushes off, got away with it, throws up a jumper that's an air ball, and then they'll get Grinstead for the foul. Tell you what, the officials had better get a hold of things right now. Here's Lexi Woods out of the locker room. You're going to see a little nudge there, then the shot. Grinstead trying to box out. They trip, and then Eubanks pushes her as she gets up. And the officials talking things over as things get a little chippy inside Benute with 4:36 to play in the first. I don't know what, now they're clearing the floor. Lexi Woods looks like she can barely walk, but she just checked back into the game. And the three officials, Kenzie Murray, Philip Woodland, Tim Ryan, out there talking it over. I don't know what kind of decision they are going to render, if any. You can see him standing there in front of the scorer's table. I'm going to whistle Grinstead for the foul. Her second and the team's first. Governor State will have the basketball. Asia Williams checks in. Grinstead checks out. And again, Lexi Woods is out there, but she is hobbling noticeably. Inbounds comes into Eubanks out front. Stops, looks, and then gives it off to McDaniels. McDaniels to Eubanks. Might have got away with a travel, big McDaniels. Here's Eubanks in the lane. Jumper short. Rebounded by Rio. Kaylee Darnell. Darnell into the front court. To the rack with the left hand. Put it up, no good. Rebound taken away by McDaniels, and then she has it poked away from behind as Peyton Johnson races down the floor defensively. Governor State maintains possession. They lead by 1 with 4:09 to play in this first half. The inbounds comes into McDaniels. Driving on Johnson, goes up with it and draws a foul. David Smalley better be careful. Asia Williams picks up her first. There's the replay. And again, I guess the contact that they're calling. Lexi Woods is back out of the game. Well, now they say the foul was on Woods and not Williams. At the free throw line's McDaniels, and her first one's no good. She's 75% on the season. Second one is good. (34-32). Jaguars by 1 at the 4-minute mark of the first half. Here's Darnell in the lane, needing help. Out front, Johnson. Garcia Perez. Garcia Perez driving from left to right, cut off by Eubanks. Looking and needing help. Ball knocked away, got it back, drives, underneath layup, won't go. Rebounded by Washington for Governor State. Jaguars in the front court. Both of these teams like to get it up and down the floor, but they're well under their one-half scoring averages. Three-pointer in the corner, up and in and out. Rebounded by Rio and Darnell. It was Schmidt that put the shot up. Here's Darnell on the other end. Bullseye in traffic to tie it up. .34 apiece. 3 minutes to play in the first half. Washington with the basketball, being guarded out front by Darnell. Bounces to Eubanks. Eubanks pulls up her dribble, goes to Schmidt. Now to Washington, into the corner. Driving, baseline jumper, up and in. That is Izzy Agredano. That gives Governor State the lead back. Three-pointer out front by Jasmine Jordan is off the mark and rebounded by the Jaguars. That is McDaniels, coast to coast, blocked by Jordan, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Governor State. Eubanks will inbound. Standing on the O in red storm. Along the baseline to the left of the bucket. Lob it in out front to Washington. 2:25 to play in the half. Bounce it underneath the Eubank. Looking for the cutting Schmidt. Reverse layup good. Louisa Schmidt gives the lead, or extends the lead, I should say, for the Jaguars. Back to 4, 38-34. Darnell. Johnson, 4-3, way too strong. Rebound taken away by Garcia Perez. Rio a second bite at the apple as we go under 2 to play in the first half. Here's Williams on the move. Cut off, out front. Darnell, 3, short. Rebound on the ground, taken by McDaniels, and then loses the basketball. Picked up by Williams to Jordan underneath, put it up and in. And I hear a whistle in the background, and apparently there's some perspiration on the floor that they're going to stop and dry it up. 1:38 to play in the half. Tell you what, grit and determination. Governor State has matched the home team, every bit of it and then some here in this first half. Rio hanging tough, but I think long three by Eubanks. Tried to bank it in, wouldn't go. Rebound is knocked around and controlled by Garcia Perez. 2-on-2, she feeds Williams. Thought about a three, now finds Darnell. She shoots a three and nails it. Red Storm back in front by one. Kaylee Darnell heating up here in the second quarter. Has 10 in the half. Under a minute to go. Red Storm by one. Out front, Washington. Goes left side. They'll put up a long three, and it's off the rim. No good. And Johnson the rebound. It was McDaniels that missed. Here's Peyton Johnson to the rack, and she's fouled by McDaniels. Well, if you're a fan of the Jaguars, that's her third. What you got to deal with now is you'll see the replay and Johnson Hack going up. They have multiple players now with 3 fouls. Schmidt, Jones, McDaniels, Chevrolet, all with 3 fouls. Here's Johnson at the line. Free throw good. Peyton now 5 of 5 on the season. Her first points of the night. 2-point advantage for Rio with 42.6 left. Second free throw good. Rio by 3 as we hit 35 seconds to play in the half. Out front, McDaniels working from left to right. Goes to Washington. Washington to Eubank. Underneath, they tried to feed Schmidt. Johnson took it away. Johnson through the defense. Johnson to the basket. Fouled by McDaniels, and that is going to be 4 on McDaniels. Johnson is slow to get up. She just went right through the defense. Hot knife through butter. And McDaniels will have to sit with 4, and Governor State checks in Jocelyn Monister, 5'6" junior out of Chicago. Free throw is up and in by Johnson. They have matched the grit and they have matched the pace, but they have piled up the fouls in the first half. Johnson's second free throw is good. 43-38. Peyton has 4. They're all from the stripe. Final 15 seconds of the first half. Driving Washington. Shoots over top of Johnson. No good. Got her own rebound and put it up and in. 43-40. They take the ball away. Here's a three at the horn by Eubanks. No good. Johnson had the rebound and almost threw it three-quarter court in the hoop, but it's off the mark. I don't think it would have counted anyway. And we go to the half, a wild and woolly first half here at the Newt Oliver Arena. I think I need a hit of oxygen. 43-40. Rio Grande leads Governor State. We'll come back and we'll have a look at some first half numbers, and we'll do that when we return in a moment. This is the Bevo Francis Classic from Stretch Internet and Video Productions. Back here at the Newt Oliver Arena, halftime of the women's game, and it's Rio Grande leading Governor State 43-40. We are now joined by the Red Storm men's head coach, Ryan Airwood. His team in the game prior to this knocks off Carolina 89-67. Would have been lopsided if Chris High could have missed a few shots, but that young man, I think he was hitting from when they got off the bus or out of the van today.
Yeah, we tell our guys, all guys need to see is one or two shots go in, and we made a couple really big mistakes early to let him get going, but then give him credit. I thought we guarded him pretty well later in the first half and the second half. It just didn't matter. And then, that's college basketball. It's college basketball. They came in as one of the worst shooting teams from the perimeter in the country, and 13 for 21, and he was 10 for 14. Yeah. So, he lit us up a little bit. I didn't think we played a great 40 minutes, but I think for about 30, 32 of it, we were pretty good.
You think down the stretch, at least as I looked at it, they played hard, they being Carolina, and with High being as hot as he was, they were able to stay within shouting distance for a while, but it almost looked like maybe the last 5 or 6 minutes that they hit a wall and you guys were able then to stretch it out.
Yeah. I think the start of the game, we had a sense of urgency, and you could feel it, right? I thought the last 5 or 6 minutes there was a sense of urgency. You could feel it. The middle part of the game, we're just kind of trading baskets, But some of that is some of these guys got to learn a little bit how to play together. Some of these guys got to learn some different things they can do well. I thought Jalen Johnson really flipped the switch and just went from more of a catch-and-shoot guy to a get-downhill guy,
yep.
And that's why he's here. So, I thought Eric Butler was much better in the second half, and what we have is when we are struggling, we have a dude like Trey Robertson who can every once in a while say, hop on my back while we figure this out. I'm going to keep us afloat, and boy, was he special.
He had 20 points tonight. Butler had 20. And then you look, Milan and Jalen both come within a basket. You were 2 baskets away from having 4 guys with 20 points. That happens on most nights. You're going to win more often than you lose.
We're scoring the ball. I think what we went over 86 in our last 4 games, right? So, but defense and rebounding win, right? So, my message to the guys is, how do we hold Grace, who's one of the best offenses in the country, to 63 and give up 36 in the first half, and give up 43 to Kent State Tuscarawas last game. Yep. So there's an urgency we've got to get, and there's also a connectivity on defense that you're not going to hear me say this much, but I need to be patient. We have a lot of new faces, and we're playing new together, so we're just making a lot of mistakes on the defensive end. It's going to take some time for us to figure that out. The bright note is these guys are practicing the right way every day. I don't know when it's all going to click, but I think there's a really special team in here, and we're going to figure it out.
We talked about the 4 guys in double figures, and then I looked down. Kalen Lasisi has 2 points, but yet he has 13 rebounds. And here's a guy that, when you look at the box score at the end of the night, he may not do much for you in terms of offense, in terms of putting the ball in the bucket, but he does so many other things in terms of cleaning up the glass and giving others the chance to do that.
Yeah, well, and guys will tell you, I think he had 8 or 10 versus Grace because their scheme was a little bit different. Like, they committed multiple people to the ball, and he found himself open. Well, tonight, they really weren't helping off of him much. He did a great job within our offense, but our guards were really able to score. But, his intensity on both ends of the glass, you can feel when he's not on the floor for us. And, for a guy who was rebounding, our first scrimmage, he had 2 rebounds. Our second scrimmage, he had 3. For him to take that role on and defend and rebound, the offensive side of the game is going to come for him. And then when it does, he's going to have some of these 13, 14-point nights. He's going to have 10, 12, 14 points.
You got a Lindsey Wilson team tomorrow that I don't want to say they came in looking for something soft out of West Virginia Tech today. They certainly didn't get it, and they walked out of here with their first loss. They're probably going to be a little more focused when they play you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I think what happened to us up at Grace happened to them here. You got these 2 games on a weekend, and sometimes guys can focus here or there. I thought they were pretty good in the first half. You could feel them slipping a little bit late in the first half, but then we got so much respect for West Virginia Tech, and they came out. I think what happened to Lindsay is they are the third most efficient offense in the country. They are the overall #1 3-point shooting team in the country. Your leading scorer is out with concussion protocol, and they didn't make shot. This is the first game they've had this year where they didn't make shots from the three. I don't think they really knew how to handle that. I don't think they're going to be licking their wounds. I would have rather them see them beat them by 20 because I think they're going to come out ready to go tomorrow.
We did not do a pregame interview with you, but I just want to give you a chance to talk about what the Bevo Francis Classic means to Rio Red Storm basketball.
It's real simple. You know, I'm a guy from Hannon, West Virginia, who loved basketball and got to come to Rio Grande and play JV, and then got moved up and was a role player. Then I got to come here and coach, and now I'm living my dream, and I'm a college head basketball coach. Thousands of people like me have came through this university, male, female, all other sports. None of it happens without Bevo and that team. There are very few times when you can look at a team and say they changed the entire future and the course that not only a school but a community went, and that team, that group of individuals changed the course of Rio Grande, Ohio, and southeastern Ohio, and we are forever grateful. The family still being here means I got multiple texts from former players talking about, you know, they know Gene had passed away. Is the family still going to come? The fact that the family still come means so much to former players. We're all just very blessed to be part of this institution that they saved and what they represent, the sacrifice they made for each other. So we hope to try to honor that not only this weekend, but everything we do.
I was going to say, you honored them with a win tonight, get another one tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I appreciate your answer.
All right, that's Ryan Arrowwood, the head coach of the Red Storm, and we're now going to talk with one of his players, Trey Robertson, before we take a break. We'll let Trey get suited up here, or however one might want to word it. Let him get the headset on. Big win tonight. I was talking with Coach. It would have been a whole lot easier if at some point Chris High would have stopped hitting shots for them.
Yeah, no kidding. He hit some tough shots, and you know, sometimes I was right there in his face, and he just shot it over top of me, and nothing you can really do about it. But you know, that's our fault for letting his first 2-3 attempts be uncontested, wide open. And when, as a shooter, when you see the first 2 or 3 go in and you're wide open, that rim gets a little bit bigger.
You guys, I thought, particularly as we got down, as I told Coach, the final 6 or 7 minutes of the game, it looked like you just wore them down, and they hit a wall, and you guys were able to pull away.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the good things about this team is we have some depth, and as you can see in the stat sheet, and you know, if any given night, you're going to get different numbers from everybody, and I think that floor opens up and we get out in transition, and it just wears teams down like it did the last 6 minutes. And I think you know, those past few games we haven't played our best, and those last 10 minutes it's been close, and I think we've just kind of took their heart in the last 6 minutes of each of those games, and that's just really who we are, I guess.
You were, I guess, a couple of baskets away, believe it or not, from having 4 guys with 20 points. And, you know, you don't have to be a genius to figure out. If you've got 4 20-point scorers, you're going to win most nights.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for us to lose if we have 80 points and 4 people. So,
talk about the challenge tomorrow, Lindsey Wilson. I know they came in undefeated and running roughshod on some people, but to West Virginia Tech's credit, Tech got them today.
Yeah, Tech's good, and you know, it's hard when you come in and it's your first time playing without your best player that averages 17, 20 points a game. It's different. You got different guys having to step up, and a lot of different guys having to take more shots, and they'll be better tomorrow than they were today. They're just getting used to each other right now without playing with their main guy, and they're going to be tough, and we're going to have to be on it. And we're going to have to try to put 40 minutes together somehow.
Trey, congratulations on the win today. Keep it going tomorrow.
I appreciate it.
All right, that's Trey Robertson joining us here at halftime. The Red Storm win the men's game, and they lead the women's game 43-40 at the intermission. We'll have more when we come back in a moment. This is the Bevo Francis Classic from Stretch Internet and Video Productions. .40 Rio Grande in front at halftime. As we get closer to the start of this second half, we'll quickly go over some of the first half numbers. Randy Payton back with you. Happy to have you along. Rio 14 out of 31 for 45.2%. They were 1 of 9 from distance for 11% and 14 of 17 at the foul line for 82% in the first half. Lexi Woods had 16, but her return, I would think, is probably not likely, although she is out there shooting free throws at the moment. 10 for Kaylee Darnell, 9 for Jasmine Jordan, 4 for Peyton Johnson, 2 each for Marley Grinstead, Asia Williams. Antrit, Garcia Perez, Graves all played in the first half and didn't score. Governor State 17 of 38 in the first half for 44.7%. They were 2 of 12 from distance for 16.7%, 4 of 6 at the foul line for 66.7%. They were led by Sincere McDaniel, who had 14, 10 for Louisa Schmidt, 8 for Eubanks, 4 for Washington, 2 each for Jones and Agredano. Chevrolet played in the first half along with Monster and did not score. Rio's out-rebounded them 20-18. Darnell has 5. McDaniel 6 to lead them, 7 assists for each team. Washington has 4 for Governor State, and Williams has 3 for Rio. 12 turnovers for the Red Storm, 11 for Governor State in the first half. So we'll see. It was a slugfest in the first half. Yes, sir? Nothing that the play-by-play guy likes more than a cold drink. Rio basketball to begin the second half. Here is Darnell on the left wing. It's Darnell, Grinstead, Williams, Johnson, and Jordan. Johnson cutting to the basket, reverse layup, rejected, and then rebounded by Chevrolet. They are in tremendous foul trouble. Chevrolet, one of them that's affected. Goes out front to Washington. Bounce it off to Jones. Jones trying to work on Williams. Turns into a double team. Had the ball knocked away. It's loose on the floor. She tried to pick it up and get it over to McDaniel in front of her own bench, but rolled it out of bounds, and that'll be a turnover. And Rio will get it back. For the Jaguars, they go with Washington, Eubanks, Chevrolet, Jones, and Schmidt. That's the 5 on the floor right now. Darnell up high to Jordan. Jordan looks right, goes to Williams. Williams up high, Darnell, 4-3. It's short, and Johnson can't save it in. Darnell's shot got altered by the oncoming leap of Denaria Washington. David Smalley thought she got part of the ball, but I don't think that was the case. Darnell just short-armed it, trying to get it, or trying to avoid having it blocked by Washington. Washington steps up and shoots a three from the top of the key. No good. And Jordan has a rebound for Rio. To Williams. Williams tried to go to the cutting Darnell, and it's stolen by Jones. Jones read the telegraph. Here's Jones trying to get away from Williams. Knocked her over, feeds it out front to Chevrolet. No good. Jordan the rebound for Rio. Outlets to Williams. Asia on the run. Finds Grinstead driving the baseline, and Marley lays it up and in. 45-40. That might be Rio's biggest lead of the night. Yeah, they're at ties their largest lead. Underneath, they feed Chevrolet, and she puts it up and in. (45-42). And a foul underneath. It is an offensive foul whistled against Jasmine Jordan, her second, and the team's first. Here's a look at it. Jordan did run over the defender, kind of stuck out that left arm and used it as a shiver. Knocked down the defender and picks up the foul. Jasmine's second, Rio's first in the half. 3-point Red Storm lead with 7:40 and counting. Washington looking underneath. Chevrolet over top of Grinstead, no good. Lexi Woods is back in the game and has the rebound. Senior going to tough it out. Here's Grinstead on the right wing, bouncing to Darnell, who is hit from behind, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by, I believe that's Eubanks that knocked it out. A little moisture in the lane that they're going to get it dried up before we resume. Bring it in on the inbounds to Williams. Driving the left side, little floater on the baseline, no good. Rebounded by Jones for Governor State. Sends it off to Washington. Washington in the right corner looking underneath for Schmidt, and it is knocked out of bounds. Looked like it was kicked out of bounds by Grinstead. Standing on the D in Red Storm, Washington will inbound to the right of the bucket on the baseline. It comes into Chevrolet, goes right back to Washington. Woods stripped it away, and it's stolen by Johnson. Hands to Darnell. Kaylee on the move across the timeline with a right hand. Dribbles into the lane. Now cuts it off. Goes to Johnson. Lobbing underneath for Woods. In traffic. Double teamed and knocked out of bounds. Governor State had somebody at the scorer's table to check in, and then she went back. Looked like Agredano was going to check in, and then she ran back to the bench. Here's Darnell to inbound. Looking, better hurry, lobbing, and on the sideline, pulled in by Grinstead. Marley into the lane, to the basket, gave it up. Williams for three, go! And again, moisture on the floor, and they stop the clock. For those who are unfamiliar, the wall behind us, where you see the people sitting, on the other side of that wall is the pool here in the Line Center. And a lot of times when you get the right amount of people and you already have natural humidity from the pool on the other side, and you combine it with a bunch of people inside the gym, and all of a sudden you're playing on a skating rink out there. And I don't know that I would call it skating rink at this point, but given how many towels are drying up things on the floor, it might be getting pretty close. Jaguars to inbound in the backcourt. Get it into Washington. Now to Jones and back to Washington across the timeline. 6.5 to play in the third. Rio by 6. Chevrolet up high. Goes left side to Washington. Lost it, got it back. Now Schmidt underneath. Goes to Eubanks, who has to Jones, and Jones has it blocked by Woods. Rio the rebound. Here's Williams. Tried to cut it to Johnson underneath, and a kick save and a beauty by the Jaguars defensively. And Rio will have to inbound again. Leading by 6 with 6:08 to play in the third. Out front it comes into Grinstead. Step back. Lobby now underneath, and Woods couldn't hang on to it. Might have been a little high on the pass, but Lexi will tell you she should have had it. It goes off her hands out of bounds for Rio. A 15th turnover of the night. Eubank to Jones. Jones steps up, might have got away with the travel. Feeds Eubanks. Now to Washington for 3 on the left side. Front of the rim won't go. They battle for the board. And bodies on the ground, and a foul, I think, going to be whistled on Rio's Marley Grinstead. They were not happy, the folks here rooting for the Red Storm. Grinstead's third, team second. Chevrolet went to the ground and will come out. Grinstead will go out as well. Harley Antrett will check in. It'll be Governor State ball. With 5:41 to play in the third. Into Washington on the right wing. Ball over her head. Now dribbles with the left hand. Finds Schmidt at the foul line. Schmidt goes back into the corner for a 3 by Eubanks. No good. Rebounded by Rio and Darnell. Kaylee ahead. Finds Johnson running toward the basket and lost it out of bounds. And Jones trying to save it in. Touched it while she was out of bounds. And Rio, a very fortuitous bounce, will manage to keep possession. Izzy Agredano checks back in for Governor State. 5:22 to play in the third, and again, they're cleaning up moisture underneath the basket. Darnell inbounds, up high to Antrett, the senior out of Newark, Ohio. To Garcia Perez, who checked in a moment ago. Now to Darnell. Kaylee driving, goes to Garcia Perez on the baseline. Marina driving, threads the needle, finds Johnson. Jumper good. Peyton Johnson's first field goal of the night. 50-42, Rio by 8. Left side, it's in the lane now to Schmidt, who has it blocked by Antrett, and they'll whistle Harley for the foul. Antrett's third, team's third here in the half, or in the quarter. Media timeout comes at 4:49 of the third. It comes with Rio enjoying its largest lead of the night. Red Storm 50, Governor State 42. It's the Bevo Francis Classic from Stretch Internet and Video Productions. 4 minutes, 49 seconds to play in the third quarter as we emerge from the timeout with Rio in front 50-42. There have been a lot of bodies on the floor tonight. A little pushing, a little shoving, a little running. We expected a tight game from the outset, and that's pretty much what we've received. Louisa Schmidt, 6-foot grad student out of Kelkheim, Germany. 1 of 4 on the season from the foul line. Shooting 2. First one up. Good. Second one way too strong, but the offensive rebound is taken away by Washington. And what? Clock situation. They'll reset it for 18. 4:45 to play in the quarter. Washington to inbound, near sideline, front court. Into Jones, to Eubanks, and now back to Washington. 10 on the shot clock. Jones fakes the 3, now pulls up from the right side, then finds Schmidt underneath. Jones gets it back, fakes the 3, 1 on the shot clock as she puts up the jumper, no good. Schmidt has the rebound. I don't know why Jordan didn't go after it. Schmidt got the rebound. Here's Eubanks driving, put it up, no good. Eubanks the rebound. Washington in the lane to Jones. Looked like it was blocked by Woods, and they're going to call Lexi for the foul. I thought she got all ball. But I'm further away than the officials are. Jordan leaves. Williams checks in. Jones goes to the free throw line. Jones is 2 of 2 from the stripe. Now 20 of 27 on the season. First one good. (50-44) with 4:06 left. One more for the graduate from Lawrenceburg, Indiana. It's no good, and Graves has the rebound, taps it to a teammate. Here's Rio up the floor. Woods driving, spinning, underneath the basket. Put it up, no good. Graves the follow, wouldn't go. Rebounded by the Jaguars. Taken away by Schmidt. It is Eubanks that brings them into the front court, and then we get a foul as they bring it into the front court against Rio, I believe against Lexi Woods. Now that's her third, and the team's 5th. Rio with 5 fouls in the quarter, and Governor State has yet to be whistled. So they're in the double bonus for the final 3:46 of the quarter. And trying to do what they need to do to get back even closer. They're only down 2 possessions, 50-44, but an opportunity to get there with 2 free throws and no time running off. Woods will leave and Jordan will check back in. Jones' first free throw was good. Now they creep back to within 5. Second one, bullseye as well. Still a 2-possession game, but just a 4-point deficit. Williams underneath finds Jordan, who, rather than turning and going toward the basket, just blindly threw toward Graves, and it was knocked away and stolen. There's Igradano driving, putting it up, and no good. The rebound tapped around. Igradano comes back down with it. Eubank out front, thought about a 3. Now we'll work around the screen, drives in, dumps it back out to Chevrolet, to Washington, to Jones. Jones in traffic, spinning and shooting, putting it up, no good. Rebound Garcia Perez for Rio. Marina into the front court, goes to Darnell. Darnell looks right, yet to put it on the floor, now does. 2:50 to play in the quarter. Darnell working on Igrodano, driving to the basket, layup no good, rebounded by Chevrolet for the Jaguars. Outlets to Eubanks. Eubanks on the move, has it knocked away by Williams, and then it'll go out of bounds off of Asian. It'll stay with the Jags with 2:39 to play in the quarter. Igrodano into Jones, and now out front to Washington. Back to Igrodano on the right wing to Jones in the corner, trying to post up Williams, turning, shooting, putting it up, no good, battling for the rebound, put it up, no good. Rebound again comes away, and this time it's taken away by Graves for Rio. To Williams. Asia thought about going to the basket, does. Throws up a shot, it went off the rim, no good, and Rio, that ball goes out of bounds, apparently touched by Graves. I thought for a moment that it went off Chevrolet, but off of Graves, and it will be Governor State basketball. Jones to inbound the ball. Jones carrying on a conversation with Phillip Woodland, the official, up the floor. Denaria Washington on the right side. Here's a long three by Washington. Back of the rim, won't go. Jordan has a rebound for Rio. Outlets to Darnell. Kaylee surveys the scene, then tries to get away from Igrodano. Spinning into the lane, feeding it off to Garcia Perez for a three that's good. Her first points of the night are huge, stretching the lead back to 7. 53-46, final 90 seconds of this third quarter. Jones out front. Chevrolet sets a screen. Jones on the right side. Now it's a screen set by Eubanks. Jones still dribbling. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jones on the drive, and a foul whistled against Rio. I think it's going to be on Asia Williams. Foul is on Williams. Tabitha Jones will go back to the free throw line. 3 of 4 from the line in the quarter. 5 of 6 from the line in the game. That accounts for all of her points. She's her leading scorer, coming in at 21 a game. Her free throw's no good. They have 4 players averaging in double figures, and she leads the quartet at 21 per. Spin of the ball, bend to the knees, put it up, put it in. (53-47). Here's Darnell in the corner. Darnell driving. Darnell shooting. Off the back of the iron, no. Graves the offensive rebound to Garcia Perez. Off to Williams. Thought about a three. Driving in, feeding underneath the Graves. Knocked away. Josie got it back. Feeds Jordan underneath. Put it up, no. Fight for the rebound, and we'll get a foul whistle. Presumably against Rio. Might be against Jordan. It is. It's her third. And they'll shoot 2 on the other end. And again, an opportunity for the Jaguars to draw even closer. There's a replay, and Jasmine just a little bit too much running into, I think that's McDaniels who is shooting. Started to say it in, another opportunity for the Jaguars to draw closer without that clock ticking away. McDaniels is 1 for 2 from the stripe, and Meagher 1 out of 3. They came in shooting 71.2% for the season. Second one is good. So McDaniels goes 1 of 2. 53-48, but Rio on the other end, a layup from Darnell. 55-48. Final 40 seconds of the quarter. Jones to Agredano, I'm sorry. I apologize. Turnover for Chevrolet, taken away by Rio. On the move, Darnell has her pocket picked by Eubanks. Eubanks tried to go behind her back, and Williams knocked it away. Now it's 3-on-none. Feed it to Graves. Layup good. 57-48. Graves with her first points of the night. Final 5 seconds. Here's a three on the other end. That's an air ball rebounded by Ella Simpson for Rio, who checked in. Darnell throws up a three at the horn. There was contact, but they do not make the call. And we go to the fourth. Wild one tonight here at the Newt through three. It's Rio Grande 57, Governor State 48. Back for the fourth in a moment. Three quarters in the books here at the Newt Oliver Arena. Rio Grande with a 9-point lead, 57-48 as we head to the fourth and final quarter. Randy Payton, happy to have you along wherever you might be on this Friday night in November, cold Friday night. If you're here in southeastern Ohio, weather moved through yesterday or a couple of days ago now, I guess, and we lost about 35 degrees in about an hour and haven't recovered yet. That nasty word that starts with S and ends with no. We had a little bit of it. All right, here we go. Jaguars, it is Jones, a jumper on the baseline, no good. Rebound, Garcia Perez. Marina trying to get away from Sincere McDaniels and does. Goes behind the back, feeds underneath, layup good. That made the crowd happy. Ella Simpson with the layup. Garcia Perez took the defender to school, and then they get a layup out of it. A foul on the other end against Josie Graves. Here's a replay of it. Changing directions. I'm here. I'm not. You're not. Ball's gone. Layup good. That foul on Graves, her first. Rio's first here in the quarter. Inbounds into Chevrolet. Drives into the lane through two defenders. Tough shot. Put it up and in. Zaria Chevrolet. 59-50. Darnell's jumper's good. Kaylee Darnell makes it 61-50. Rio's biggest lead of 11 as we go under 9 to play. Jones on the right side, driving into the lane. Dumps it off, left side three for Agredano. No good, out of bounds. The rebound goes. Nobody touched it. It belongs to the Red Storm. Washington will check back in for the Jaguars, and Agredano will check out. 8:47 to play. Governor State has still not been whistled for a foul in this half. And they were in deep foul trouble at halftime. It's kind of helped them stay as close as they are. Williams driving, layup good. $63-50. Washington in, out, back in at the foul line, shooting and score. Denaria Washington, her first points of the second half. 63-52. Back to an 11-point game as we approach the 8-minute mark here in the fourth and final quarter. Williams on the right wing. Looking. Tried to go to Darnell. Knocked away, but the loose ball picked out of the air by Garcia Perez. They're down to 12 on the shot clock. Garcia Perez looking. Right side. Williams open. Shooting. Airborne is the shot. No good. Rebound. There's Graves. Put it up and in. (65-52). 7.5 to play. Here's Washington in the lane, blocked by Darnell, but rebounded by Jones and put up and in. Tabitha Jones makes it 65-54. Darnell driving around the defense of Washington, had her shot blocked, but will pick up the foul. For Washington, her third, and at the 7:15 mark of the fourth quarter, the first foul of the second half against Governor State. Washington just bodied her up and then went after the block and got the arm. So while it's the first foul of the half, it is in fact a shooting foul. Darnell is 1 for 1 from the line tonight, and on the season is 14 of 17. 14 points for the senior out of Wheelersburg, averaging 25. First free throw, good. Rattled around like a pinball before it fell through, but down the hole it went. 12-point lead, trying to make it 13, and does. 67-54. 13-point lead for Rio, 7:10 to play in the game. Jones on the right wing. Driving on Peyton Johnson, who's in. They kick it out to Agredano for a three over top of Garcia Perez. Put it up, no good. And Johnson has a rebound and then is fouled from behind by Louisa Schmidt. That's Schmidt's fourth and the team's second. 6:58 to play. Rio by 13, 67-54. Here's Garcia Perez into the lane, now dumping it off on the right side to Simpson. Simpson trying to get around Chevrolet, goes to Garcia Perez on the left. She's into the lane with it to the basket. Layup good. Marina Garcia Perez, 69-54. She has 5 in the game, all in this half. Chevrolet turns and faces Simpson. Blew right past her into the lane, put it up, no, and a foul against Rio. I believe against Simpson. Nope, it's going to be on 22. Peyton Johnson, her first. You'll see it. She just blew right past Simpson, and that kind of left Johnson to try to do something, and her only recourse was to foul. Zaria Chevrolet, 4 points in the game. Free throw up, too strong, back iron. One more coming for the senior out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Second free throw, good. (69-55), 6:20 to play in the game. Darnell for three. It's off the mark, air ball. Taken away by the Jaguars. Feed it ahead to Jones, spinning, shooting, scoring. Tabitha Jones makes it 69-57. Back to a 12-point lead. Darnell up high on the right side, sends it cross court to Garcia Perez. She puts a move on McDaniels, or Washington rather, had it knocked away, picked up by McDaniels, who lays it up and in. Here come the Jaguars within 10, 69-59, 5:37 to play. Darnell on the right wing. Driving in, cut off, trying to drive on Jones again, and Jones bumping up against her all the while. Jones fourth, team's third. Garcia Perez out, Williams back for Rio. Darnell on the baseline to the left of the basket, standing on the O in Red Storm, will inbound. Out front it comes, Peyton Johnson, underhands to Williams. Asia surveys the scene as she moves to her left. Pulls up the dribble, needs help. Looking, up high, finds Johnson. Bounce it to the foul line to Woods, and away from the ball, we've got a foul whistle. Harley Antrid away from the ball picks up the foul. That's her fourth. Team second. 5:13 to play in the game. Rio by 10. Jones with a basketball, dribbling with the right hand, now the left, and back to the right as she crosses the timeline. Gets away from Williams, slips and goes down, but maintains the dribble. Nicely done. Washington in the right corner, feeds Jones. Jones kick it out front. Schmidt shoots up a three. Back of the iron, it won't go, and then it bounces into the backboard standard. And it'll be Rio basketball, and it'll be a media timeout. It comes with 4:51 to play in the game, and the Red Storm at home leading the Jaguars of Governor State 69-59. We return in a moment.
We are champions of character.
You hear in the background the sounds of the South Webster High School marching band, creating some atmosphere in the Newt tonight. Governor State is 23 of 64 for 35.9%, 2 of 20 from three-point range for 10%, 11 of 18 at the foul line for 61%. Rio is 25 of 53 for 47.2%, just 3 of 13 from distance, 23%, 16 of 19 free throws for 84.2%. Rio's turned it over 19 times to 14 for Governor State, and the Red Storm have out-rebounded the Jaguars 38-33. Out of the timeout, Rio basketball. Leading by 10 with 4:45 and counting left in the game. Out front, Antrit. Antrit looks and threw it away. Tried to go to Johnson and threw it straight into the hands of Tabitha Jones. She drives, put it up and in. Somehow willed the ball over the top of the rim and down through the hoop, draws the foul. They're within 8. And if it's on Antrit, which I believe it is, she's fouled out. Antrid is gone, will foul out without scoring. Jones has come to life here in the second half. 10 points, 6 of them in this quarter. Make it 7. And they're within 7. But Yogi Berra say it ain't over till it's over. And it ain't over. 69-62. Rio needs a bucket from anybody. Darnell to Johnson. Lobbing underneath for Woods. Hadn't scored in a while. In traffic. Trying to muscle up a shot. Does. Put it up. No good. Rebound. Johnson off glass. No good. And on the rebound, a foul whistled against Rio. And the home folks not happy whatsoever. That foul whistled on Lexi Woods. Her fourth. Team's third. Team's fifth, apparently. Am I not marking down there? Yep, it is 5. I hadn't been marking them down underneath. So they're in the double bonus for the rest of the game. Free throw up and in. That is Zaria Chevrolet. First free throw good. Second free throw. Around the ring and out, and Woods has the rebound. 2-possession game, 69-63, Rio in front. Here's Williams, splits the defense, in traffic, good. Makes it an 8-point game. Asia Williams now with 9. And a foul whistled against Rio and Darnell that has them even more upset than the one a moment ago. Or correction, it's on Lexi Woods, and she is fouled out. Leaving with 3:43 left. And they ain't a bit happy about it off to my left. You'll see it here on the replay. I don't know that Lexi touched her after I see the replay. Holy moly. Here's another look at it. Maybe, am I missing? It looked like Jones may have stepped on her foot, but that's on Jones, not the defender. The free throw's no good. Second one coming. Airborne, too strong. You could tell when it left her hand, and Jordan has the rebound. So they miss a chance to get back within 2 possessions. Williams driving, layup good. (73-63), back to a 10-point Rio lead. Boy, it doesn't feel that safe. Chevrolet on the left side, steps in, shoots, hits. 73-65. Jordan on the right wing. Or Darnell, rather, on the right wing. From the elbow shooting. No good. There's Johnson for the rebound out of nowhere. Feeding Darnell. Layup, no good, and a foul. Eubanks picks up her second. Here you'll see it. Darnell will go back to the line to shoot 2. In and out and back in. Pays to be good, nice to be lucky. Might have had a little luck on the roll with that one. 10-point game as she hits them both. .250 to play in the game. Here's a long three from out front by Eubanks, around the ring and out. It was in the cylinder and rattled out. And Rio has the rebound, leading by 10 with 2:40 to play. Darnell to the basket, driving, shooting, no good, drawing the foul. That's on Jones, and she can take a seat. Now that foul trouble that we talked about is slowly catching up to the Jaguars. They had a bunch of it at halftime. They did not get called for a foul until just over 7 minutes to play left in the game. Darnell hits the free throw. But they have picked up a handful since and starting to lose people now. Darnell's second free throw is off the mark, and on the rebound we get a foul whistled, and that's going to be on the Jaguars. I think it's on Chevrolet. Yep, watch her as she's in the lane and kind of gave a little bit of a shove that knocked down Peyton Johnson, and Johnson will go to the line. Chevrolet's fourth foul, by the way. Peyton Johnson is 4 of 4 at the line, has 6 points. Good. (77-65) with 2:36 left. In and out and back in. 13-point advantage. 2.5 to play in the game. They need points and need them in a hurry. And they try to throw, and Schmidt not looking for the ball. Darnell has the steal and is fouled from behind by Washington. Washington's fourth. Washington came down, and just immediately, you're going to see it here on the replay, she looked, and Schmidt was looking to the other side of the floor. And then we're slow to catch up, but trust me, there was a foul on the other end. Darnell at the free throw line. Put it up and in. (79-65). Second one good. And now a 15-point lead with approaching 2:20 to play in the game. Here's Washington from just above the left elbow, no good, and a foul on the rebound. It's like Marley Grinstead. Or is it Johnson? Peyton Johnson, her second. Graves will check in for Rio. Grinstead will check out. Chevrolet at the line. 2 of 4 from the line tonight, and all 4 in this fourth quarter. Good. The shrieks and the yells rain down from the seats of the New Dolliver Arena, but they have no effect on the senior out of St. Paul, Minnesota. On either try. 80-67. 2:10 to play in the game. Rio not in a hurry to shoot unless something wide open is there. And why not? You lead by 13 with 2 minutes left. Back door's open. Darnell score. (82-67). On the other end, Washington around Darnell. Put it up, no good. Eubanks the rebound, and around Jordan puts it up and in. 82-69 with 1:37 to play in the ball game. Darnell way out, dribbling in front of the scorer's table. And again, unless there's something wide open, if you're Rio, why are you hurrying to run a shot? Down to 10 seconds, they'll put it in motion. Darnell fakes a handoff and then takes a shot to the face from Eubanks. Eubanks has her third. Eubanks will leave, and Jocelyn Monster will check in. Darnell back to the line. Making a killing at the charity stripe here in the fourth quarter. It's her 10th free throw of the quarter. And now 9 of 10. She has 13 in the quarter, 15 in the half, and I think 25 in the game. Agredano back in for Governor State, driving as Washington layup good. 84-71. Final 1 minute to play in the ballgame. Rio Grande on its way to 5-0. Governor State will fall to 4-1. Here's Darnell driving. Floater off glass, good. (86-71). Rio by 15 with 40 seconds left. Out front, Agredano with the left hand fires the three. Left it short, Darnell the rebound. Final 25 seconds. There's 2 seconds difference in shot clock and game clock. Rio will have to take a shot or a shot clock violation by intent. Here's Darnell in the lane to Jordan. 8:76 on the shot clock. Rio might just take the automatic. Here's Darnell to the lane. Layup is good as time expired. 88-71, your final score. Rio Grande improves to 5-0. Governor State falls for the first time in 5 games. They are now 4-1. The two teams shake hands across the way. So the Rio Grande and the men and the women tonight in the Bevo on night 1 both pick up victories. Final score, Rio Grande 88, Governor State 71. Stay with us. Our postgame coming up next here from Stretch and Video Productions. Back here inside the somewhat quiet Newt Oliver Arena as Rio celebrates an 88-71 win over Governor State. The Red Storm 30 of 61 for 49%. 3 of 13 from three-point range for 23%. 25 of 29 at the foul line tonight. 86.2%. Governor State was 27 of 72, 37.5%. 2 of 22 from three-point range for just 9%, and 15 out of 25 for 60% at the free throw line. Rio turned it over 5 more times than Governor State did, but the Red Storm, despite having 5 more turnovers, enjoyed a 13-point advantage in points off of turnovers, 24-11. They out-rebounded Governor State 45-36. Some scoring totals for Rio Grande. Kaylee Darnell with 29 points tonight. 8 rebounds to go along with that. 16 for Lexi Woods, all in the first half. 11 for Asia Williams. 9 for Jasmine Jordan. 8 for Peyton Johnson. Have mercy. 5 for Marina Garcia Perez. 4 for Marley Grinstead and Josie Graves. 2 for Ella Simpson. Harley Antrip played and didn't score. For Governor State, they had 5 players in double figures. Sincere McDaniel had 17. 13 for Tabitha Jones. 11 for Louisa Schmidt. 10 each for Calvina Eubanks and Zaria Chevrolet. What else they got there? They got 8 for Denera Washington, 2 for Izzy Agradano, and Jocelyn Monster played and did not score. Rebounding, we said Rio had a 45-36 advantage. Jasmine Jordan had 9 to lead the Red Storm tonight. 7 rebounds for McDaniel to lead the Jaguars. Assists, Governor State had 10. 4 for Denera Washington. Rio had 13 assists tonight, 6 of those belonging to Asia Williams. Rio had 9 steals, 3 for Woods to lead the way. Governor State had 12 steals, 4 by Tabitha Jones. 2 blocks for the Jaguars, 1 each for Washington and Chevrolet. For Rio Grande, they had 4 blocks, 1 each for Darnell, Jordan, Woods, and Simpson. Rio turned it over 20 times, as we said. 15 turnovers for Governor State. Points in the paint, 46-44. Governor State points off turnovers. We said Rio 24-11. Second chance points, Governor State 17-12. Bench points, 19-13 Rio. 6 ties, 11 lead changes. Governor State, their biggest lead was 5 in the second quarter. Rio's biggest lead was 17, and that was the margin that they had at the end of the game. I think we got a couple of players and the coach is coming. We're going to take a break, allow them to come up here and get set up, and we'll talk about a Rio victory when we return to the New Dollar Arena in a moment. This is the Bevo Francis Classic from Video Productions and Stretch Internet.
What did I do?
88-71. We'll talk to you about that. 88-71. Rio Grande defeats Governor State. We're joined by head coach David Smalley. We've got players Lexi Woods and Asia Williams. Coach, we'll start with you. Governor State, for a long time, it was like a boxing match where you guys stood there in the center of the ring and just traded punches. It's been a while since you played somebody like that went toe-to-toe with you.
Randy, we were watching enough film on them. We knew they're just a good, solid defensive team, and they have great body control. They do great things, and they get away with a lot of incidental or, contact that probably should be called. I find it hard to believe as many fouls as were called on them in the first half. They had 0 fouls called on them in the third quarter.
Till 7:10 left in the game.
Yeah, so – But
who's counting?
Our kids are resilient, and we talked about the physicality that they were giving out, and we weren't handling it as well as we should have. But we needed that game. I'm thankful for that game. We haven't had it at home. If we'd have been in Governor State's facility, that would have been probably uglier than what it was. So, a great team. They were in the national tournament last season. They keep playing like that. They're probably going to be back there again.
You had 20 turnovers tonight. They only had 15, but a telling stat, you guys outscored them in points off of turnovers 24-11 despite committing 5 more turnovers than they did.
Well, and again, I think that's a tribute to the fact that we are in better shape than they were, and the fact that we continued to keep pushing it third and fourth quarter. They kind of got tired. They got in foul trouble, but we got in foul trouble too. We had a couple of players that fouled out. So I think that was a big part of it. They've never been pushed like that in the schedule that they've had up to this point. So I think again, you got to give credit to the players that handled the physicality. It took us a while, but we did handle it. We did some really nice things and handled their off-ball stuff. There's a lot of off-ball stuff. Number 20 decided to come over to our bench and was trying to get us to do something to attract a technical or something. There's no place for that in basketball, but I thought we did a great job. I thought the players did a great job, and that's a good win for us right now.
Lexi Woods standing in front of me. I thought you were going to have to finish the game in a wheelchair. You had 16 points, all of them in the first half, to go along with 6 rebounds and 3 steals. That's probably as physical a game as you guys have played in a long, long time, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely very physical. I've been here a long time, played in a lot of games, Randy, but that might be the most physical game that I have played in.
Talk about just gritting out the effort to get the win, because you guys have become so accustomed to running people out of the gym before halftime even rolls around. That wasn't the case tonight.
Oh, yeah. I think it's something that we definitely needed, though. This was a good win for us and a good competition game, especially going into tomorrow against Lindsey Wilson, and then especially going against IWU on, I think, Tuesday. So I think we really needed this to make us get to the next level, push us to get there.
Asia Williams, you had 11 points tonight. That's a season high, 9 of them in the second half, and it looked like there were stretches where you just thought, rather than trying to get other people involved, I'm going straight to the rack.
Yeah, I would say, well, sometimes, they're always open. I always get them the ball, but sometimes I know they're going to overplay a few of my players, and so when it's my time to go, I just got to take it. And, my teammates are going to support me either way. So,
talk about them and what they were able to do defensively. You guys turned it over 20 times, and there were a lot of times that just, I guess their general length or whatever, they were able to get arms into the passing lane, and it wasn't as easy as it normally is on a night-to-night basis for you guys.
I would say one thing that they did was they got into the passing lanes because they knew that we like to do transition. So, they studied that. They got their arms up. So it's harder for us to, get the ball up. The crossbody passes weren't there like they normally were because they are a more athletic team. But, at the end of the day, sometimes you got to turn it over in order to get it back. So
I told you the other night, Kaylee Darnell, it seems like you can get 25 points rolling out of bed. You got 29 tonight. A lot of them came in the fourth quarter, and I don't know, just a decision on your part that I'm going to try at least down the stretch. If Asia's not taking it over, I'm going to.
Yeah, for sure. I had a rough start there, but praise the good Lord upstairs that my free throws are going in tonight. So 10 for 11 from free throw line really helped me out. But they were a good team. They played us tough, but I'm glad that we come up with the win.
They put you guys at the foul line. You were 10 of 11, the team 25 of 29, and that's something that this team, since the start of the season, has pretty much been money in the bank at the foul line.
Yeah, free throws win games, so we pretty much emphasize that every day. Coach Mully pretty much tells us to go 80% or higher from the free throw line, and we've been pretty consistent with that, and I feel like the free throws tonight won us that ball game.
A question for all of you, and then we'll let you go. Lindsey Wilson tomorrow. They came in today undefeated, and a team from our conference, St. Mary of the Woods, knocked them off. You got to figure they are going to be a focused group as you guys take them on tomorrow. We'll start with Darnell.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're receiving votes. Is that right?
I believe
yeah, they're receiving votes. They got to watch us play tonight, so they're going to be more than prepared for us tomorrow. So we're going to have to do the same for them, be prepared for them. We got to watch them today, so we'll go and do some scouting report on them, and we'll be back and ready to play tomorrow.
Alexa?
Yeah, like Kaylee said, they're going to be hungry for a win. I think they came in here today expecting a win, so tomorrow they're definitely going to be a little extra hungry and trying to knock us off.
And Asia.
I would say the main thing is just us stay together and stay as a team, and I think that, we can withstand whatever they throw at us.
Ladies, congratulations on the win.
Thank
Go get some rest. Yeah. That's we talked with head coach David Smalley. We talked with Lexi Woods, Asia Williams, Kaylee Darnell, all of them tonight about this 88-71 victory, and they buried my sheet for the games tomorrow, but I've now got it. I'm going to let you know before we go. We start at 11 a.m. tomorrow. We'll roll video beginning at 10:50. Chris Kidd back for the call of the first two games. The 11 o'clock game is a men's game, West Virginia Tech and Carolina. Tech beat Lindsey Wilson today 70-55. Carolina lost to Rio Grande 89-67. Then at 1 o'clock, it'll be the women's game. This same Governor State team, which just fell to Rio Grande, will take on St. Mary's of the Woods, which knocked off Lindsey Wilson earlier today 67-53. And then yours truly will have the final two games, Rio Grande versus Lindsey Wilson on both accounts. The men will get it going at 3. The women will get it going at 5. We appreciate Josh Bowman and all of the the video productions crew, Butch Mounts and his staff coming to help provide the coverage, and they'll be back tomorrow. They got to drive home tonight and then come back, and we're going to let them do that. We appreciate all of our help down there on stats all day long. Alyssa, Katie, AJ, Sean. I don't think is there somebody else? Haseen. And okay, so see, it does. It takes a village to get the and Charlotte Pilgrim came up here and ran 2 commercial breaks. So she counts. Charlotte's a good worker for us. But we invite you to come back tomorrow. If you can't be here in person, by all means, dial us up. Again, the video begins rolling at 10:50 a.m. in the morning. It'll be West Virginia Tech and Carolina in men's play. That said, your final score. Rio Grande defeats Governor State in the women's game tonight to close things out on day 1 of this Bevo Francis Classic. Red Storm 88 and the Jaguars 71. Randy Payton saying so long from the Newt Oliver Arena. We remind you, as always, that this has been a presentation of the Bevo Francis Classic from Stretch Internet and Video Productions. We'll talk with you in the morning, and until then, so long, everybody.